All right. Okay, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I am back, Quinton. I'm back again with Maito for the second match of the day, France versus Thailand. We saw that Khalees coming from China about half an hour ago, and we're already going further to the second match. So we had the left side team Red France, on the blue side Thailand, the 8th and the 25th seed. So these seeds are relatively closer to each other compared to an hour ago. Maito, do you have any thoughts on this matchup? What do you think will be winning? What picks we'll be seeing? What bans? And so forth.
Yeah, I have maybe not looked at this matchup quite as much as the China-Israel one. That was kind of my priority, considering, it was my very first match that I was casting for Catch World Cup, so it was a bit of a big deal. So haven't looked quite as much into this match, so not entirely sure. Obviously, France, they have Totobas, Natsuko, Electro, lots of very, very strong, tournament players, very seasoned players. Obviously, Totobas number 2 in the world currently, so they are definitely a force to be reckoned with in this tournament. Even despite the 8th seed, which may not look quite as impressive, they are still a very good team. And Thailand, a bit of a newer team, I think. I'm not too familiar with most of their players, except Social Distance, actually. The only player I really am familiar with on that team, who is a very nice convert player, so maybe we'll possibly see some convert picks from them, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I think your analysis on France is spot on. Perfect. On Thailand's side, I mean, it was a surprise qualification for some people. I personally didn't think they would qualify, and they came as C25, which is really, really high where you're supposed to be not qualifying, right? On their team, Azura is their captain, and she played last year as well, but the rest of the team is, I believe, new to the Catch World Cup, so there's not a lot of experience on Thailand, but they seem eager to perform at their best. I saw Social Distance on Twitter posting yesterday that they're quite hyped for today. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this match. I think Thailand is most likely going to go for hidden. I think Thailand is the better hidden team, or at least they believe they're the better hidden team. I mean, France's weakness is definitely hidden. They're really good at no mod, hard, and double time, so I think hidden is the option to go for Thailand. I believe France is going to be banning hidden too. That's the thing with low AR hidden, right? It either gets picked or it gets banned, but there's no in between. It's never left open. If you're bad at hidden, you're banning the low AR hidden pick. If you're good at hidden, you hope they don't ban it so you can pick it. That's how it works. Either way, this one is going to be a little closer than the last one we had, so definitely looking very forward to this one.
Yeah, at least statistically, this match, on paper, is going to be close. Obviously, the French side is much more experienced, but Thailand, definitely a few confident players on specific skill sets on their team, but facing a team like France, it is hard to gain a lot of confidence, considering I would even say they are also another pretty considerable, almost powerhouse team in this tournament. They have a lot of very experienced tournament players, so I am looking forward to this match and what France can display early on in the tournament.
Definitely. We see the whole time to be getting picked immediately. We have France. To give a quick recap for the bans, France banned hidden 1, so the longest hidden pick, and Thailand banned Nomad 1, so the longest Nomad pick. So the 4-minute maps are off the table, and we see the whole time to be getting picked immediately by France. This match is going rapidly at this moment, and immediately going to the double time as well. So we see Sharon, Social Distance, and Miriams versus Titobas, Hollow, and No Life. The map is only 660 combos, so it's really short. 1 minute 20. We see the first miss coming in from Social Distance. That's going to give an early advantage to France.
Yeah, 2 early misses there from Thailand. So Team France taking a bit of an advantage so far. Obviously, as you said, this map is quite short. Shortest map in the pool, actually. So yeah, another miss from Social Distance there as well, and now a miss from Miriam's as well, although it is traded slightly by No Life. Totobas and Hollow both still holding on to the FCs, so looking like already a pretty comfortable pick for France.
Yeah, that score difference is about 200,000 points due to the many misses coming from Thailand and the fact that the map's so short. So I don't see a way back for Thailand in this one. A quarter of the map left. We see Miriam's missing once more. Only Sharon above that 200 combo mark, right? Only that max score per fruit caught, and double miss coming from Thailand once again. And Hollow and Tito is just cruising to the end of this map. Hollow actually dropping there as soon as I do end up cursing him. So only Titobas with the double S NEFC, the highest rank player in this lobby, and the only one being able to not miss on the very first map. So we see 2 misses on the French side, and that is 16 misses on the Thailand side. So a very good pick coming in from France, and that seemed really comfortable for them. We see Miriam's... Well, I mean, honestly, we saw 2 players on the Thailand side picking Hidden with their double time, indicating that they're quite comfortable in Hidden, right? So I feel like Hidden 2 is... Oh, actually, as soon as I said Azura picks Hidden 2, so we're going to see Hidden 2, which is a map we'll not be seeing a lot, right? Because I already said that lower Hidden is most of the time going to get banned, but it is available now, and it's picked immediately. It's a convert map, AR 8.4. It's quite jumpy. It's easy to trip up, and one important thing to note for this map: the first 20 combo, you have to stand still. Do not touch your keyboard when playing the map. Just stand still, and you'll catch everything. If you move once, it's really hard to reposition correctly, and then you start wiggling, and it's like a wiggle for 25 notes or something. So, I hope all players stand still at the beginning of this map.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate to see someone straying off the straight path there at the beginning. Hopefully that is not something that happens. Would be not something anyone really wants to see, you know, basically free combo at the start for everyone. So hopefully that is not a thing that happens. And yeah, as you said, Loa definitely not as popular as of a pick as some of the other maps. A lot of people aren't very confident on Loa, and even Hidden added onto that obviously is just making a killer combo for a lot of players who are very well versed in higher AR and just can't get used to that low AR environment, I guess, and the reading becomes really challenging.
Definitely. On Thailand's side, there's already 2 players mentioning they're feeling nerves, and they believe that, well, it's our first CUC for most of them, so there's definitely going to be a factor we have to account for. We see Electra and Boros making their first appearance, I believe, in this match, and on the other side we see Azuria and Tanakito, rather, making their first appearance. So only No Life and Chiron staying in for this Hidden pick. There's also, if I'm not mistaken, there's no droplets in this map, which is also quite interesting. So missing, well, you cannot drop accuracy unless you're missing, right? So there's not going to be an accuracy difference, as in like purely on the basis of droplets, let's put it that way. But getting started with Hidden 2 minutes 21 in length, so that's at least a minute longer than the last pick. And Azuria moved, so okay, she's actually going to be wiggling. Oh, there's 2 people wiggling, and the rest of them are standing still. That is interesting, but everyone catching. And we see Boris and Azuria trading early on that first jump off the wiggle, so scoring should be tight, and No Life actually dropping as well, so first advantage to Thailand. And once again, that lower Hidden, I'm not too certain why France left that open, because it does not seem too comfortable for them right now. No Life dropping a lot of notes, actually, but Stanakito and Azuria as well, double miss coming from Thailand. That's going to switch the fair right back into France, I do believe.
Yeah, that lead was looking pretty good for Thailand at the start, but now it is closing very rapidly. It's flickering, and there we go, now onto France's advantage. Thailand seeming to stabilize after those misses, it looks like, and obviously the score is going to still stay pretty close, considering oh, but no, there's a miss from Tanakito in Thailand, so now the score lead is not going to be good for their sides, although traded by Boros, but another miss from Tanakito there, and with Electra and No Life having some pretty nice combos, their lead is definitely looking pretty nice right now.
Yeah, Chiron and Electra still onto that double list, so both sides having one SS player, but sadly Azuria and Tanakito had 2 double misses. That cost Thailand a lot of score, and that score difference about 150,000 points. But we see a 5-way miss, actually. Electro, the only one holding out the cover, is once again in favor of France, right? So that is just going to extend that lead even further, and that's unfortunate for Thailand.
Yeah, but everyone missing there except Electro. Just an awesome performance from them right now. Still holding on to that double S, and looking like France is going to close out this second pick with another victory and possibly a double S from Electro if they can just hold on a little bit longer. Does seem like that is going to be the case. And
yeah, it was really promising, honestly. Like, France left the door open quite widely, honestly. We see 9 misses on their side. That's a lot, actually, for a round of 32 map, right? But Thailand, perhaps the nerves sadly coming into part, and then that costing them the point. So already an immediately break point for France. Charon only went to 1 miss. That's a huge performance coming from him, but Electro countering beautifully with a 1 million score. No droplets, no spinners, so an SS is immediately a 1 million score. So yeah, beautiful from France, but the beginnings felt, how would you call it, tricky to me. I think there was a huge opportunity for Thailand there, and I'm not too certain why France would leave low AR hidden open. I think it's by far their weakest link, right? But they probably feel comfortable enough against a lower C to still leave it open and just ban a long map instead.
Yeah, it does seem that way. It is interesting, as you pointed out, that leaving that low AR hidden, it kind of seems that might be Thailand's best bet to get a point from France here. They did very well. All of their players having under 10 misses, if I'm not mistaken, on that pick. So looking pretty confident for hidden, and going further into the tournament, that might be their strength. And obviously, other teams will be able to see that and maybe use it against them.
Definitely. We see Nomad 3 getting picked almost immediately. It's a Comrade, 2 minutes in length, CS5. So the CSE, the tricky part about this Comrade, so it's easy to trip up. I think most players in this room should be able to see the map. There's one tricky pattern around 300 combo that can catch people off guard. We see Natsuko making his very first appearance. I mean, Natsuko, a brilliant Nomad player, so to be expected for him to be playing this map. And then Hollow and Titobas. I mean, Natsuko and Titobas is a really strong Nomad duo. So nothing too surprising on their side. On the other side, we see the same roster for Thailand as of right now. Not sure there's people going to be switching in.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either. Does not seem to be the case right now. Yeah, possibly keeping their roster again. Yeah, as you said, Natsuko and Titobas, 2 incredibly strong Nomad players. Obviously, the whole French team is, pretty well versed in a lot of things. Maybe hidden being a bit of a weak point for them. So, but everything, including Nomad especially, they are just very confident in. Titobas, Natsuko. I'm not entirely sure about the others, but yeah, definitely those 2, super strong.
The issue I have currently, well, I mean, the problem I can see rather is that Thailand does not have a hidden pick to pick anymore, because obviously 1 picked 1 bans and hidden book only consists of 2 maps. So they probably have to go for mixed mob. But do you feel comfortable? Do you have a player that's comfortable on HR to play in that mixed mod? I'm not sure if Thailand has such a player. If they do, then I'm 99% sure they will go for mixed mod 1 or mixed mod 2. But either way, we see Mirims making his appearance again, subbing in for the captain Azuria, and we're getting started as well. So Mirims, Sharon, Tanakito versus Natsuko, Titobas, and Hollow.
Yep, here we go, Tanakito. Oh, just seeming to have maybe a bit of trouble loading in. Oh, here we go, I think. Hopefully. Sometimes you always got to have a bit of bancho playing up in every single tournament. Happens. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a tournament where bancho hasn't done something at least moderately wrong. Always
Yeah,
happens.
it always happens, right? 2 minutes in length, so it's still the picks in this match have been relatively short. So any miss costs you even more score, right? Tanakito being the first to drop in the early section. The hardest part's around 300 combos, so I'm curious to see if Francis is going to be able to catch all of that. Tanakito actually not dashing enough, I do believe, under dashing some of those jumps, and that's already a 60,000 score lead in favor of France.
Yeah, France's lead already increasing just a little bit with that miss from Tanakito, although I think Charon and Marim's both still holding on to very nice FCs. Marim's actually holding onto that SS as well, and there's that 300 combo point you were talking about, and we will see a miss from Hollow, but as well as Natsuko. Maybe a bit more surprising there.
Oh, but the double miss coming from Thailand. That's so unfortunate. I was about to comment on the fact that the door is open for Thailand, but that double miss in those triple jumps, right? Oh, that's going to cost Thailand. And it's so unfortunate because there was a huge opportunity right now, but they're once again on the back foot, and the score difference is about 60,000 points, but it's growing immensely, right?
Yeah, that does seem to be the case. Natsuko and Tatobas, actually the whole of France's team just being able to hold much better.
And Hollow, but Tanakito is immediately trading that, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Triple miss across the board there, so yeah, just Thailand unable to stabilize as well as France, even despite Hollow's misses, and as well as Natsuko. Tatobas just cruising through this point right now with what's looking like a double S to close France's third point, and yeah, another pretty nice display, although Thailand definitely faring pretty well within the last two picks. They are seed, what was it, 26, but they are
25.
showing off some pretty nice skills right now.
Honestly, yeah, there were huge opportunities on both maps of Thailand. Unfortunately, they were not able to convert it into a point, but this was way closer than France probably anticipated. So, huge performance coming from Thailand. 1 miss from Miriams and 2 miss from Sharon is, really huge. Nice scores on their side. And I'm curious to see what France is going to be picking as their... Well, actually, it is Thailand's pick now. My apologies. I'm curious to see what Thailand's going to be picking. And they're going for that Nomad 2 or Hard Rock 2 actually. Wow, okay, we see Fractal Dream is Monolithia, the first time we see Hard Rock 2 getting picked, and this song is so good. This is by far the best song in the pool in my opinion, and I'm so glad Thailand picks this. I find it a weird pick because I'm not sure how they feel on Convert Hard Rock, but it's probably one of the hardest skill sets in Catch Speed, but just because they picked the song, it's amazing.
Yeah, I actually don't think I've listened to this, so this will be the first time, so definitely excited for that. Actually, there are a few pretty good songs in my opinion in this pool. You got Peer Jin. I actually quite like that song as well as the obviously the Yasubi song, as I pointed out last match. Absolutely adore that song. It's great. So yeah, great song selection, I guess. Obviously it's not the main outlook that mappers or map poolers are looking for, but nonetheless, very nice to see, and hopefully getting into this Odrok 2 pick shortly.
Yeah, it's I'm curious to see how Tyler performs on this pick. We see Miriam, Socialist, and Azuria playing against Electric, Tobas, and Hollow. The map, there's 2 memory parts in my opinion. At 150 combo, there's a break, and then after that break, the first node is on the very right. That can catch people off guard that didn't practice map. And the spinner, there's a spinner around 450 combo. After the spinner, is a spin trap, so you have to stand on the middle. Well, slightly to the right, but still half between middle and right. There's the first node as well. Those 2 caught me off guard the very first time I played this map, so that could catch people off guard if they're sight reading this. Which I'm quite sure no one is doing, but perhaps. The rest of the map is relatively straightforward, but obviously it's covered with hard work, so any place is missable in my opinion. I really dislike converts with hard work.
Yeah, I'm also on that team of the convert hard rock dislikers, I guess. Definitely not a fan of them. Some of the trickiest gameplay that you can really have. You know, converts already, you know, wacky patterns, but adding hard rock on just makes it that quite a bit extra of difficulty on top, and already a miss coming from social distance there, and not looking the best for Thailand out of the gate, I guess.
Second miss as well in that early slip up, but now if you see, alright, RO32 is already on the right side, but is someone going to get caught off guard? No, but Socialist was in the middle, so that was kind of close, honestly, but they do catch up, or they do catch that fruit, rather. We still see 5 double S's on the board. Oh, there's also a tricky wiggle section coming up soon, where people can miss as well. That's probably the hardest part of the song, actually, the wiggles that come up right now.
Oh man, hard rock wiggles, the bane of my existence. And a triple miss from Thailand just after you call them out. So, absolute killers. It seems to be the bane of Thailand right now as well, as...
And now the spinner trap comes, and no one gets caught off guard. Actually, Zero missing right after that, though. That's unfortunate. But that triple miss on those wiggles is giving France so much score, and it's already a 220,000 score difference. I mean, a triple miss is just so detrimental for your score, right? And France still holding on to a triple SS, so they definitely practice this map, and that's... well, props to them, right? And we see a double miss coming in one from Thailand, and I think this pick is kind of backfiring for Thailand. And they're definitely not comfortable on this in comparison to France. Sorry, Maito, I keep interrupting you.
Oh no, that's my bad. You were on a stream of speaking right there, and I just chimed in. But I was just going to point out France's, you know, triple double S currently still on this hard rock convert pick, which is just, I mean, what else can you say except it's just an incredible display of their skill. Thailand obviously faring pretty well, all still holding onto pretty respectable AC and combos, but France just, the dominance is so prevalent.
Yeah, France looks kind of shaky in those early picks, right? But then this is just pure dominance. And I don't think there's any way you could beat France in this scenario, right? So nothing to blame on Thailand, but probably not the wisest pick in my opinion. And that's going to be a second breakpoint for France as well, so that's going to give them a match point already. I mean, these matches have been going so rapidly because of the snowballing mechanics, right? China snowballing against Israel, and now France actually kind of putting their foot on the gas right now and just snowballing as well. And that's a 4 scoreline. There's 1 pick left for France to close it out, and Thailand have to break France twice, win their own pick twice, and then win the tiebreaker to win this match. And that is looking unlikely, and a beautiful triple S coming from France. That is a triple SS, actually, rather. That is beautiful. Superb performance, as social distance points out. That is indeed, there's nothing more to say. That's such a superb performance. And we see double time 1 getting picked immediately. We didn't see that in the last match either. Wizard's Tower by Loki. Good song, 8.3 double time. The map is relatively straightforward. It's probably the speed pick from the double time pool, but it's probably not the amount of speed most players would want, I think. I think most players are comfortable with way faster picks as well. So I could see Thailand, honestly, triple FC in this. I definitely could, but same goes for France.
Yeah, definitely a possibility. I actually forgot that this song was in the map pool. This is another song that I actually really like. So this map pool is just full of bangers for me, and you know, obviously an interesting map as well. But yeah, just loving this map pool right now. And you know, France, obviously, I missed a little bit before internet was being Australian internet. So yeah, but France just with that triple S on that previous point, you know, again just showing that complete dominance and skill.
Yeah, absolutely correct. We see Sharon coming back. We see No Life coming back for Double Time 1. Let's keep in mind this is Thailand's winner bracket run on the line already. 4-0 scoreline in favor of France, so I'm curious to see what Thailand can do on this one. Alright, so we're getting started, and Itoba staying in once again. Had some really good scores already. I mean, that FC Nomad 3, that FC on RO32. Didn't play the hidden one, and the first pick was... I can't seem to remember the first pick for some reason. Either way, that doesn't really matter. Azuri and Miriam's once again putting on hidden. It is allowed. Hidden is used for reading purposes. I personally am not able to play double time with hidden because it doesn't help me, but some people prefer it because, well, you can't see half your screen, so you focus more on the top side, and it improves your reaction time, I guess. I'm not too certain as to why it works, but it sometimes does for some people, so that's why. Everyone seems to be quite comfortable, and actually Azuria does end up missing, but no left trading immediately, so that's still a tight scoreline. I believe France had a small spinner advantage, perhaps? Or actually, they do have an accurate advantage. That might be the difference maker right now. The map is about 900 combo in total. But oh, Charon actually over-dashing there. Going a little too fast. And that's going to give a 1 miss lead in favor of France and the squad. Miriams and No Life trading. Charon dropping once more. And that's going to be a 2FC versus none. And that's going to be quite hard for Thailand to come back from, actually. Electro and Tito was still holding on to that double S. Miriams missing once again. Azure being able to hold on to combo after the first slip up. No Life on the French side seems to be struggling a little bit harder than I anticipated, but yeah, his teammates have his back, and the score difference is about 120,000 points, and that is a huge score difference. Everyone above 200 combo for the French side, and on the Thailand side, everyone was above combo as well right now. But it's only a quarter left. They need to see an absolute meltdown from France to be able to convert this pick into a breakpoint, sadly. And I believe the Tobas might just be on track for another double S. You can see a similar performance to Crystal from that last match. Sharon dropping once more, and that's probably going to spell disaster for Thailand as they lose 0-5 to France. And France, after a shaky start, seem really dominant on these earlier pools. RO32 triple SS and then double time 1 at double SS coming from T-Tobas and Electro. Thailand's only 9 misses in total, so not a lot of misses, but they do end up losing out onto France. And I believe that RO32 pick was kind of a mistake, and there was potential for a point for Thailand, but sadly they have to concede this one with a 5-0 score. And France advances to the winner bracket round of 16. Thailand drops down to the loser bracket, but will be facing the loser of the Netherlands versus Italy, which is a hype match coming in tomorrow, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But once again, a really quick match. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Maito.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I came back at the worst time, just as the point ended. Sorry about that one. So yeah, going to see France taking another sweep. Obviously, a lot of people, I guess hoping that this match would be a closer one, but unfortunately, France just showing their dominance. Much like China, although the points I would say are definitely much closer. So it was really well played by Thailand, but in the end, France is just much too strong.
There were a lot of the match was way closer, and I think a 5-0 scoreline is justified. But Thailand did have the opportunity to get 2 points. That Hidden 2 and that Nomad 3 both were really close until it wasn't in the end. So there was opportunity for Thailand, but sadly France takes this one home. Either way, continuing forward today, we have Singapore versus Argentina at 14 UTC, so in about 2 hours and 30 minutes. And then later on tonight, actually, Canada versus UK, Brazil versus Japan, and Chile versus Colombia. I'm not too certain if we'll keep the stream on, but either way, we'll be back in about 2 hours and 30 minutes for Singapore versus Argentina, which is going to be a really good match, I believe. Maito, I'd like to thank you for casting these 2 matches with me. It was an absolute blast to have you here for the very first time on the commentary booth. You did a great job, obviously, and well, yeah, that's about it from us, I do believe.
Yes, thank you very much. It was my pleasure, and it was awesome to to be out here finally after a while. You know, lots of anticipation, and yeah, it was an absolute blast, super fun, and thank you for having me and, you know, being my duo for these past 2 matches. You know, definitely made me feel very confident.
All right. Okay, to the viewers, thank you for tuning in for these very first 2 matches of the round of 32. The rest of the matches are visible on the right side, as I already told you guys. At 40, you can see Singapore versus Argentina. You do not want to miss this one. This one is probably one of the closest one on paper. And we have the always consistently underranked Singaporeans facing off versus a new Argentina that seems really, really strong, but they somehow